All right. So a couple of you saw a picture that I was just in Canada for maybe 4 days in this cabin in the woods with I had electricity, but there was no internet, there was no cell phone. I actually watched DVDs. When was the last time you guys watched a DVD? It was shocking to realize how fast technology is going because I saw that $250,000 fine. You know that page that comes up that's like, if you copy this, it's a $250,000 fine. I was like, oh, I haven't seen one of those in 9, 10 years, but I digress. One of the things I wanted to do in Canada was pull out of this weird existential dip that sometimes people are shocked that I talk about. But a month and a half ago, I wrote my second book in Kim's house, Kimberly Wave, in her house. And for 3 days after was like untouchable. Like I walked around that house like I am a golden god and was just like frolicking everywhere. And then for about a week was like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm writing. I don't know why I'm coaching. I don't know what my mission is. I, for whatever reason, lost touch with the whole thing. And I talked to other authors and other writers who said it's really common after 3.5, 4 weeks of just dumping out material. And true story, I didn't leave the house more than 3 or 4 times, so it probably wasn't that healthy. But that was just what needed to happen at the time and what came out. And I started in Canada reviewing some notes. I have pages and pages and pages and like about 50 of these notebooks, and ran into some notes that I'd taken a year or so ago by a woman named Giovanni Toccacelli, who was on the Man Talks website or the Man Talks podcast. And she's a rock star coach. And she had put up these 3 commitments. And I sat down with them, went through them myself, recorded them myself. And it was as if lightning came back through into my body. I felt, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be coaching men. I have this mission. I have this book. I have this website. I have these people. I have yada, yada. It was like, woof, it pulled back through. And so since then, I've been giving this to everybody, all my private clients, and just talking to as many people as I can about them and asking them for their reaction. And over and over and over and over, it's the same thing. That when they have clarity in these 3 areas, boom, everything blows up. Or blows open. To get clarity in these 3 areas, they do the work that a lot of us need to build this life that we want to have. Right? When I talked to a guy this afternoon who is stuck. He's just stuck in his own head. He's stuck in his own cycle, his own stories. If I do this, then that. If I do this, I can't because of that. I can't because of this. And he's in this whirlwind. He's in this churn. And so I asked him the first of the questions, which I'm going to ask you, which is, what are you building? And this was his response. Fuck. No one's ever asked me that before. It's like, I'm paying off my house. Not what I asked you. What are you building? And what are you building for a life for yourself? Not just what are you building as if all of us are lucky enough to have a mission or a purpose that's super specific and is out saving the whales or something like that. It doesn't have to be this idea of, I want to change the world. Right? I have a good buddy whose answer to that question is, I'm building a really safe world for my autistic son. Boom. I've talked about him before. He will never be on Instagram. He will never be on a TED Circle. He will never publish a book. You will never know this man's name. But his mission to me is still that wide. And he wakes up every morning infused with unbelievable amounts of inspiration and energy. Once you know what you're building and you've come up with and have it in your hand, your first commitment is to keeping the vision of that life, to feeding the vision of what you're building, of actually being able to put your hand on it, to draw it, to speak it, to create dioramas of it, whatever it is that your unique way of keeping in touch with it. you have to be committed to keeping it close to you. 2 weeks ago, after the book, or whenever it was, 3 weeks ago, after that huge emotional dump, I lost touch with the vision. I lapsed in my commitment to that vision and recommitted to it. I don't have it out here now. I have Kim, it was in your house. I had a vision board with like all these pictures on it. I have multiple recordings on my phone to listen to on headphones of what this vision looks like. Right? I have a drawing. God, let's see if it will show up here. It may not be appropriate because I think I drew it anatomically correct. Anyway, sorry. I have a drawing on here of what I want my life to look like in the next 5 years. And so the question I'm going to ask you is, do you know what you're building? And if you don't, I want you to sit with that question. And I don't want it to eat at you. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm such a failure. I don't know what I'm building. We're so good at beating the shit out of ourselves. Let it be playful and let it have a couple different areas, right? For guys, it's usually committed to a vision and building something that gives us freedom. Let me take that back. For the masculine, that's what we're really after, whether that's male or female. Something that gives us freedom, right? It's really what we're looking for. Let this be physical. What are you building in your body? Because when this thing goes, all kinds of shit goes haywire. What are you building relationship-wise? What are you building physically? What are you building with your work? What are you building with your personal expression? What are you building with your relationships? What are you building with your sex life? What are you building with your food? What are you creating? What is this vision? What is this thing that you're waking up working towards every single day? Find that if you don't have it. If you have challenges with finding it, find me and I'll help you with it. But that's really, really key. Does everybody understand that? Or this is a super open forum, by the way. So let me know if something doesn't make sense, or if you have a question or you want some clarification, feel free. There's a chat button on the bottom. Now you can chat to everyone, or you can just chat to me personally if you're worried about your question being embarrassing. But commitment to the vision that you're building around. Here's another point of it that I want to get across that every man you guys knows. No one's coming to fucking save us, right? So we all have to be 100% responsible for creating this vision. I don't get to sit back and go, so pissed the Mercedes dealership guy didn't show up and drop my car off today. As a gift. I got to go out and earn it. So pissed that clients aren't calling me randomly asking me to work with me. I have to go seek them out. So pissed that my book didn't write itself. No, I had to sit in front of the computer and write it. So 100% responsibility. For a lot of people, that's daunting. Like, I don't want to be 100% responsible. Well, two things. One, tough shit. Two, do it. Because when you realize that you're 100% responsible, you realize that you're the one that gets to go out and get this thing. You're not reliant on everybody else to someday, maybe, hopefully do this for you. Now, the caveat to that is you are allowed to enroll people. You are allowed to have a tribe. You are allowed to ask for help. You're going to need to ask for help. Right? It's more than okay to ask for help. None of us do this stuff alone. I have coaches. I have friends. I am in contact with people every day. Help me. Help me build it. I'm going to ask you guys, help me. I have asked you, help me bring someone on this call. That was on the email, right? Like, bring one person on this call. Help me. Here's the last piece of the first section. Hope is not a good long-term strategy. Just think about that for a second. It's there, like, how are you going to do that? Like, I don't know. Well, hope's not a good long-term strategy. So that's something that someone said to me multiple times. They're like, I want the uncivilized idea to be $1 million a year industry. He's like, how are you going to do that? Like, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. Okay. get this thing out, get one of these out, and get to work. Sketch out some plans, sketch out some ideas, talk to people, find people who are doing what you want to do. This is the land of some dude in Russia just text me. Do you still live in Russia? This is the world of you can connect to anybody thanks to social media, right? Ask the people who are doing what you want to do. Would you mind if I had a 10-minute conversation with you? Would you mind if I bought you a cup of coffee? Would you mind if I helped you? Cool? So that's commitment 1. Commitment to the vision of the life you want to live. Boom. Commitment 2. This is a biggie. See you, brother. Commitment to your relentless pursuit of growth and actualization. Relentless pursuit, dogged pursuit, never-ending pursuit of growth and actualization. In what area, Traver? In every single area. I don't understand bored people at all. Like, do you not have the internet? You not have an encyclopedia? You not have a cookbook? Right? Get to work. Relentless pursuit of your growth and actualization. Who do you want to be? What's that long-term dream? Who do you want to be? What if it takes you 10 years to be there? And I get this a lot from people. Oh my God, that would take me 10 years to achieve. I'm like, cool, how old are you? Oh, I'm 33. Like, first of all, youngin', in 10 years, you're going to be 43. Guess what? You're going to be 43 whether you do that thing or not. I remember thinking that about grad school. Literally being like, I'll be 31 when I graduate from grad school. I shouldn't do it. And someone was like, you'll be 31 anyway, dumbass. Go to school. So I did. I'm really glad that I did. So commitment to relentless growth. In what area? First and foremost, in our physical bodies. Right? Let's get rid of this spiritual bypass idea that I'm not my body. Has anybody heard that? Like, oh, I'm not my body. Really? Go stub your toe. Get a UTI. Huh? Good fun. Oh, those are fun. I can't. All the women are like, I'm my body. I'm my fucking body. Yeah. Guess what? You may not be your body, but you're your bladder. So know that. So figure out, get curious. What supplements are you taking? What movement courses are you taking? How are you stretching? How is your posture? Get obsessed with your body. It's okay. You have my permission to be obsessed with your body. How are you expressing yourself relationally, communicationally? Are you studying that? How is your heart? How is your relationship to love, for lack of a better term? Are you pouring out love through everything that you do? Is all of your conversations, especially men, are we running our conversations through our hearts? Or is this like the fucking Russian wasteland that this dude texted me from? Like, I don't know. I think from here and I like weekends from here. Oh, wow, there's this whole area. How engaged are you in that area, in every area? And then your own, for lack of, let's call it consciousness as opposed to spirituality. Are you meditating? What is your relationship to the present moment? What is your relationship to pain? What is your relationship to your heartbreak? What is your relationship to disappointment? What's your relationship to your family? Tough one. Are you relentlessly pursuing growth in all of those areas? Right? Can you cook? Can you fuck? Can you talk? Can you move? Can you build? One of my mentors is a genius. Like, you know, like there's like, I really consider myself kind of a smart person. And then you get in the room with people and you're like, oh, wow, you're a genius. He's a genius. He consults on AI. They call him like, hey, I have questions about the future of artificial intelligence. You know who doesn't get that call? Me. He is so excited about, he's also a professional chef. Of course, like why not? Because you need a fucking side hobby. He's so excited about new forms of cooking. And the guy's 65 years old. But literally you talk to him, he's like, oh my God, you can do this with food and there's these micro things. And I was like, I just want to be you. I want to be that excited and that relentlessly interested in every single area of my life. And I want you guys to too. So the key word here, though, is going to be curiosity. Think about it. How curious are you about stuff? How curious are you about the different areas of your life? How curious are you about other areas of your life? About if we asked everybody on this call, what do you do day in and day out? There's some really interesting people on this call. Would you dive into their field of study or their field of work? Why not? Because it would expand you in different ways. Clear on that one? Yeah? Give me a head nod so I know everybody's still alive. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan. And lastly, and this is a tough one, but we're going to talk about it, commitment to every single relationship we have in our lives. Relationships they're the proving ground, right? Everybody's got all of their shit wired super tight and is really, really actualized until you get in the room with your mother, until you get in the room with a guy or a woman, or what do you know? Commitment to every relationship, though. And here's the question I want you to bring, or I want you to ask. What value are you bringing to the relationships in your life? I ask this of all the guys in the program all the time. What value are you bringing? Bro, why do I always have to bring? What value are you bringing? Ask it over and over and over. What value are you bringing to your business relationships? Are you making it so that the people you work with think that you're invaluable? Right? Whether you feel appreciated or not. Family, we're just going to put to the side. Are you doing your best with your family? Even if that means I've made strong boundaries and we don't talk that much. That's okay. But have you made conscious decisions around family? Are you committed to the relationship you have with the people in your life? And are you committed to the relationship you have with yourself? That goes back to the first, it goes back to the second one, but to me, that's still the most important thing that anyone can talk about. Right? Who here is a Gary Vee fan? You know, Gary Vaynerchuk? Dude's a rock star, right? A rock star. And I believe his philosophy after following him is that your business is the number one most important thing in your life. He's like, sleep on your friend's couch for 5 years and build your business. It doesn't matter. Don't date. Don't talk to girls. Don't do anything. Just build your business. Once you have your business, like, give your 20s to your business. I disagree with that. I think the number one philosophy, the number one thing you have to take care of, first and foremost, is the relationship to yourself, and then the relationship to other people. And I say that as someone whose life got turned upside down by a relationship. And I don't think I'm the only one here on the call who could raise their hand and say, was your life ever turned upside down by a relationship? It's just like, yeah, right. All of us. And how, no matter what you do, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work for someone else, you're a mother, you're a father, you're a son, you're a daughter, you're a boyfriend, your relationship with yourself is going to dictate the success level, the growth level, the actualization level of that other relationship. So those are the three. Those are the big three commitments that when you have dialed in, I watch people's lives, boom, fall right into place. They get right on track. Things become really, really clear. The lens through which they look starts to be, does this fit those three commitments, or does it take away from those three commitments? And decisions become phenomenally easier to figure out. So before I dive into resistance, I want to do a guided meditation, if you guys are up for it. It's going to be around the vision, because this is the one that most of you are probably shitting yourselves over. I don't have a vision. I don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. What if it changes? That's okay. Or it's too ethereal. It's this like, I don't know. I have never even thought to put this all together. So let's do this. Feet flat on the floor. Sit up straight, like goddamn adults. Good. Close your eyes, and together, let's take a deep breath in. And blow it out. One more time. Deep breath in. And blow it all the way out. And drop down into your stomach. Drop out of your head. Drop out of that chainsaw overthinking apparatus that's trying to judge this exercise, which thinks you're going to be the only one who can't do it, which thinks you're doing it wrong, and go to your stomach. Go to the place of knowing. Go to the place of power. This is where about 2 inches below our belly button is where power emanates from. All, like the real power. Go there. And just sit in the knowing. Feel the little flame, the sparkle, the warmth that you get when you're coming alive. When you're doing this thing that you're supposed to be doing. When you're feeling the way you want to be feeling. When the universe is actually conspiring on your behalf. Find a time in your life. Go back to a time in your life. And if you've never had a time in your life, imagine what it would be like to wake up early, full of energy, with a clarity about what it was that you were supposed to do that day. What contribution, what service, the people you would be helping, the challenges that you would be solving. The unique way that your talents, your gifts, your strengths, your struggles, your story could change the world. Even if that world was just the people in your home. Even if that world was just the people in your neighborhood, on your street, in your city, in your country. Feel into your body. How would it feel to have your feet hit that floor? Look around this room with your mind's eye. Where are you? What are you surrounded by? Who are you surrounded by? Or are you alone? Imagine having a knowing that everything you do for the rest of that day is you on purpose, is building this life that you want to lead, that you want to live, that it's worth your time, your energy, your body here on earth. Imagine what it would be like to go look in the mirror and believe in that person staring back at you. Smile at them. Thank them for living through all of the struggle, all of the hard times, all of the heartbreak. Thank them for celebrating all of the triumph, all of the amazement, all of the victories that got you to right where you are standing in that mirror. Go walk around your home. Take your time, touch things, feel things, look on the walls. Are they different than how they are now? What's the sense of them? What's the carpet feel like under your feet? What are the smells? What are the sounds? What's the taste in your mouth? What's the taste in the air? Breathe it in, pull it in, own it. Feel what it's like to have that charge, that connection to that flame in your stomach. A flame that warms your heart. Open your front door and walk outside. Look around. Where do you live? Is it where you live now? Is it a different city? Is it a different country? What are the cars like in the driveway? Is there a driveway? Are you in a city? Are you living on the beach? Are you living in the mountains? Look on the horizon. See the infinite space above you. Feel the solidity of the earth below you. Stop and take a deep breath there and feel the connection, the deep, deep connection that you have with everybody who came before you. Everybody here who's supporting you. Breathe in that sense that you're right where you're supposed to be in the world, and you got work to do. You have the opportunity to do that work. You have the blessing, the privilege, the honor to express your unique gift into the world. To add color to it, to add sound to it, to add smell to it, to add influence to it. To change one life. Or to change a million. In both your mind's eye and in your physicality, right here, put your hand on your heart and one on your stomach. Feel the power flowing between those two areas, the connection between your true mind that lives in your stomach and your heart, which experiences everything on this earth. Feel the power that you carry personally to create influence in your world, in your life, in your situation, no matter how dire it may seem right now, or how brilliant and wonderful it is forever. Own that. And make the decision here in this meditation that you will pursue this truth. You will live this truth. You will express this truth every moment of every day. That you believe in yourself. You trust yourself. You love yourself. You honor yourself. And yet you know you are here to be of service to everyone, including yourself. Take a minute and just allow this sense of peace, this sense of purpose, this sense of power to flow through your entire body, here in the meditation, here on the call, wherever you may be. You can let the images go, but hold on to the feeling. Breathe with it. Dance with it inside your body. Be okay being wherever you are on this journey. Whether it's, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I know what I'm supposed to do and I'm effing terrified, or I'm doing it. Or anywhere in between. Let's take 3 more deep breaths together. Two more. One more. Drop your hands on your lap. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back into your body. Come back into the room. Come back into the space. Beautiful. How was that? I have an echo from somebody. There. Can you guys feel that? It's okay if you just got a glimpse of it. It's okay if you just got a tiny piece of it. But my hope is that you could feel it. One of the things that I did in Canada that I advise you to do is re-record on a phone, on a voice note, re-recorded, what does it look like for me? What does Man Uncivilized look like 5 years from now, 2 years from now? What does the uncivilized nation look like? What does my life look like? Where do I live? What car do I drive? What's my property? Where am I flying? Where am I speaking? Who am I hanging out with? Who's my partner? All of it. It was about a 25-minute recording. I just got in the flow. I didn't judge it. That was the rule. The rule was speak easy, let it all out. Doesn't matter. Free flow. So I advise you to do that. That's your one more. I'm going to give you some more assignments, but that's your first assignment. So do that. Spend some time with what you want to do. Okay. What is the challenge now? We've talked about the how. What gets in the way of the how? How many people here have read anything by Steven Pressfield? Anybody? Okay. I'm going to put a book, The War of Art and Turning Pro. 2 really quick reads by a guy named Steven Pressfield. And these are books like that big, so you could read them in 3 hours. Steven Pressfield was the first one to coin the term resistance. And he believes that resistance is, and I do too now after doing some stuff, is an actual thing. And what is resistance? Resistance to me is this. Whatever decision you decided to make, that was like a badass decision. Like, okay, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 2019. That's your decision. That takes a certain amount of time, energy, and focus. What also gets birthed in that moment is an opposition of equal, if not greater, force against you. right? How many times have someone said like, hey, I'm going to join the gym on Monday. This is the year. This is the time. I'm going to lose the weight. Join the gym, get sick Sunday night. To me, that's not coincidence. That's fucking resistance, right? Oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. There's like literally you say that out loud and there's like a knock on the door and someone's like, free donuts. Like, dude, no one's ever had free donuts in my house in 25 years. Like, oh, I was in the neighborhood. I know. I just started knocking on a random door. That's resistance. Resistance is addiction. Resistance is procrastination. Resistance is why literally when you have to go write a paper or study something or sit down to write a blog post or create a video, that Facebook becomes like crack. Like, I just need like 30 seconds on Facebook before I sit down to do this thing. Like, no, you don't, but that's like that pull, like, oh, it's that strong. And so we have to own that. We have to just say, God, I'm not lazy. I'm not weird. I'm not unlucky. I'm not a procrastinator. There's an actual legitimate force out there trying to fuck me and my goals. Okay, cool. Now what do we do with that? First, we just acknowledge it. We accept it. Right? We know it exists. We name it. When it comes up, when we're like, God, I really want to look at Facebook. Oh, that's resistance. Here's the deal. We don't get rid of it. You can't. There's no like magic pill or button that says like resistance is gone. Every high-level person you know dances with resistance. Every single one. They figured out ways to work with, dance with, live with resistance. And here are 3 of the best ways to do it. 1, I may have coined this term. Someone else might have said it, but I'm taking it. Resistance sleeps in. I think resistance sleeps in until like 8 o'clock. Right? How many of you have gone to the gym at 4:45 and been like, it was crazy. There was not an open machine. Everybody, the Stairmasters were packed. My email was going off. Like, no. But have you gone at 5 and had that happen? 5 in the afternoon? Have you gone at 7? Right? Resistance sleeps in. So if you have something you're trying to build, my deepest recommendation is you learn the practice of getting up early. And you spend that first hour in the morning doing your work, doing the thing you want to be doing, writing the book, creating the play, doing the business plan, doing the marketing. I'm at this desk usually by 5:15 with a cup of coffee, a journal, or a notebook, or literally writing pages to post that day. 5:15. Resistance sleeps in. Here's number 2. Resistance loves isolation. So you're like, oh, I'll just do this whole thing by myself and I won't tell anybody and I'll keep it quiet. Resistance is like, sweet, I got them. Resistance hates accountability buddies. They're like the kryptonite to resistance. It hates when you join a group. Hates when you join a team. Right? I have a CrossFit background. What was one of the beautiful things that CrossFit did? Why was it so successful that it went from like 2 gyms to 15,000 in 5 years? It got people to work out together. It made you have friends at the gym. Oh, I'm going to go see Bob. It's kind of hard to let resistance win when you're just going to see your friends. So creating accountability partners, having coaches, whether it's me, Connor, someone else, anybody that you know, Joe, Dave, having coaches, having group accountability, working on a team. 2, here's the last thing, and this is the beautiful thing about resistance. I think that resistance gives us an amazing opportunity to see where our leaks are and see where our weaknesses are. Right? So if you're on social media all day and not writing your book, that's a really unique opportunity to go, what am I getting out of that? Where am I leaking energy? Oh, I'm leaking it into Instagram. Scroll, 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 like. I'm leaking it there. Last week when I did or 2 weeks, I think it was last week when I did I don't know if it was on last week. I think I actually did it for Man Talks. Talked about, here's an idea of a leak. Like people are like, what's a leak? I don't get it. And in regards to resistance, think about standing at the beginning of a long hallway. At the end of that hallway is a door. We're talking like 50 feet. End of that hallway is a door. That door opens up into your dream life or to your next evolution, revolution, iteration. Every single step you take down that hallway, there's another door on your right and your left. And they're like packed next to each other. There's no space between the doors. A leak is one of those doors opening. Like, oh, Instagram. Oh, my friends are going out and getting drunk tonight. Ooh, new girlfriend. Right? And sometimes life comes in and it just pushes you into that door. And you're like, oh shit, I'm getting divorced. Oh shit, I broke my leg. Oh shit, I have a sinus infection. Something. But our job is to walk down that hallway and be like, ha ha ha, no, ha ha ha, and realize that they're there. And they're there in unique ways. There are ways that are unique to us. Like, oh, you know what that is right there? That's my fear of being seen publicly. Oh shit, my business at the end of the hallway needs YouTube videos. That's resistance. Gonna be like, I'm gonna hang out in this doorway and just stare at it. Because I'm terrified of what happens if I get on YouTube and someone makes a comment like, I don't like your hair. They don't fucking have me. But there are people we all get stuck in unique places. One of my favorite exercises to do in a workshop, some of you have heard this, is to take everybody and say, okay, what is the one thing, the number one thing blocking you right now? What is it? Is it shooting a video? Is it getting a website? Is it writing a book? Is it blah, blah, blah? Write it on a Post-it note. Boom. Getting started writing a book. So they write it down. It's okay, don't put your name on it. Hand it 2 people to the right. Hand it 3 people to the right again. Okay, everybody, take a look at the one that's in your hand. Could you get this done by today? By the end of today? And they all look at it and like, oh, shoot a YouTube video. You can do that in the bathroom in 5 minutes. Oh, get my blog started. Yeah, definitely, I could do that. So, okay, everybody, rotate them back. Write down how long you've been stuck on yours. And here's what's scary. We'll literally get people that are writing 5 years plus. 5 years, and someone else, I could give it to Joe, and Joe's like, do it in a day. I could have that done in 24 hours. Or I could do it in 10 minutes. I've had people that are literally like, I'm afraid to post on social media. Like, give me 30 seconds, I'll rip that thing out. But then they have stuff that I'm terrified of. Like, well, I don't want to do that. 5 years. So know that about resistance, and know that when you're coming up against stuff, that's a really great opportunity for you to look into why that's scary. I think I've shared this story before, but Michaela Boehm, who's not related to me, but we're homies, says, if you want to know why you don't want to go to the gym, this is like the worst explanation ever, but I loved it. She's like, if you're stuck not being able to go to the gym and you don't know why, start going and you'll figure out why. I was like, that's just cruel. Like, people want the answer before that. It's like, you want to know why you can't write? Sit your ass down in front of the computer and then see what starts coming up. And truthfully see what fear is underneath it. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success. There's some fear underneath it. Okay, so we have the 3 guidelines, right? They're the 3 commitments. Commitment to the vision that we're building of the life we want to live. Commitment to our relentless growth and actualization. Commitment to our relationships. To recap, what is the number one force in the universe trying to knock us off course? Resistance. It comes in all different shapes, sizes, peoples, addictions, challenges, habits, etc. How do we beat it? We get our ass up early. we work with other people, we enroll folks in our lives, and we use it as opposed to letting it use us. Questions before I let you in on something I've got coming up in January? Any questions so far? Either raise your hand, or those of you that are hiding, feel free to throw it in the chat. Give it about 30 seconds. Okay. Oh, yes, sir. Let me unmute you. Go for it.
I've got a rather probably common question, but it
Sure.
stems all from once you start getting past your resistance points and you make a commitment in order to move forward in a certain direction. How many of us out there feel that we all of a sudden start existing in a different frequency and we can't really find comparable individuals around us? I mean, you start seeing things through a new filter. You start being able to almost acknowledge like instantaneously negative individuals, apathy, manipulation, and I find it a little bit disheartening knowing that it's almost tough to find that community of individuals. I mean, we're all here having a discussion together and through whatever energy that is. I just find that one, and I don't want to seem like it's coming off as being pretentious. I just want to acknowledge the fact that you're almost vibrating on a completely different level than you were before, and you're trying to almost scan everywhere I go. I try to scan, who's sort of on this same level. I wish you could see that, and I'm just trying to figure out if that's a common thing that people are experiencing out there.
Of course. Right? Like there's the great saying, you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. And as you grow, you will change the people around you. Right? My assistant Jeff is not on this call because he's doing something else at the moment, but he's one of about 3 people from my old business that was a 300-member gym who I went to their weddings. I was there when their babies were born. They were at my wedding. We worked together, blah, 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 who are now in my life after I quit drinking, after I quit smoking dope, after I quit doing a lot of things and turned myself into a different human. And there are as many people up here. They're just different people. So I understand the challenge. It is a legitimate challenge, right? But it does not mean that you're not going to find people. One of the things that we've done for men, for the Uncivilized Nation is, yeah, I want guys who are all on the same path. Because for men, no offense to the other people on the call, it's a lot harder for us to find guys that are actually doing the work. It's super easy for us to go find guys that want to talk about football and get wasted. Super easy. Yes. I could have 3 million friends if I wanted to do that tomorrow. So know you're not alone. Know that you're going to attract your tribe, and be willing to it's okay if people fall to the wayside. The barrier to entry to my life is, are you inspiring and are you fully supportive? That's it. That goes for family, that goes for friends, that goes for lovers, that goes for exes, that goes for whoever. Because what I'm trying to do, to me, is so important. And I think to the planet is so important. I can't tolerate a day with someone who's like, that's a stupid idea. I'm like, boink, you're out of my life. And by the way, you're stupid too. Get out of here. So yeah, I think it's super, super common. And just know that this is why we have groups like this. Is why I'm doing this. I want to do something like this every Thursday and get people to where they're communicating, where they're talking, right? Joe and Dave are in communication with each other, right? People meet each other, talk to each other. We are all in this together, and there are a lot of people who aren't in this, and that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, great question. Thank you. Anybody else? Dave, yes, sir.
Just to piggyback off of that, put it out into the world more often. You know, I'm sure you got social media. You'll be very surprised on who starts, clicking on your hashtags and who starts to connect with you. The more that I share my belief system, as it's evolved onto that higher frequency, as you've said, the more people have reached out back to me, and I've gotten to have these deeper conversations with people that I have known for years, who, if I didn't put it out into the world, would have, we would have just continued to be Facebook friends. But now we're having deep, meaningful life conversations. And like Trevor said, we're each changing each other. That'd be my best advice. That's what I've been learning of, probably in the past 8 months or so. And the people that aren't supposed to be there are just naturally falling away.
Yeah, great points. And Arthur, you have the option of building this yourself, right? Be the leader in your community that's saying, hey, every Tuesday night I'm throwing a dinner, or let's all meet at this restaurant. And it's for people who are trying to do big shit in the world. That's it. There's nothing stopping us from being the ones to go out and seek and create and build and pull those people to you, as opposed to waiting for them to find you. Okay, I'm throwing up 2 links here in the chat. I hope everybody can see those 2. They are to 2 group courses that I'm starting in January. The top one has the lovely name of Kill the Nice Guy. This is a men's only course. And the one below it is FFBs, the Fierce Feisty Badasses. This is women's only course. I'm taking 2 different groups on an 8-week journey. I'm not mixing them. I think they're very distinct ways that women and men learn. And I think in some regards, we do it better on our own. But the structure of the courses are the same, so I'll just tell them to you here. It's 8 weeks long. It's 8 group calls like this that I'm leading with specific criteria. For guys, we're dismantling this, for lack of a better term, nice guy mentality that we're going to nice our way through life. That if all we have to do is be really sweet and not do shit and not get out there, not make our own decisions, not lead, that we're going to get what we want. And I find that to be absolutely detrimental, and talk to men every single day who are struggling with that, who have lost their marriages, who have lost their relationships, who are addicted. And even if that's not your challenge, this is going to be a massive leadership course. Basically, it's me, a group of guys that are all in for 8 weeks that are riding something out together. It includes 4 30-minute calls with me personally, one-on-one, which most of you know my rate is about worth the rate of the course. So women, it's going to follow this criteria. Number 1, first week, we're talking about your vision. What are you building? What are you creating in your lives? 2, we're going to take a snapshot of your life and an analysis. And guys, we're going to do a lot of stuff similar, but it's got a different edge. Where are you out of integrity? Where are you not doing the things that you want to do? We're going to work on your own individual story. Own your story, week 3. You're going to have your own signature story and your one true sentence that is the foundation upon everything that you put out in the world, marketing, sales-wise, and it's just the basis of this whole deal. 4, it's owning your pure expression. How do we get rid of your beliefs? How do we get rid of the if, then, they statements? How do we overcome societal pressure that says, God, we just love it if you guys wouldn't be rude and inconvenient? Fuck that. We're going to go into boundaries in week 5. If there's anything that I get hit up for more often from women, and trust me, my people have our own issues with boundaries, it's how do I create strong boundaries? Then how do I have the energy behind them? We're going to look at the obstacles in your path in week 6. We're going to talk about being 100% responsible and building an actual tribe of people so that you're not alone in week 7. And week 8, we're putting together a plan for the next 40 days. So guys, if you want to go to either of those links, I've got 2 people signed up in each course already, and I'm taking 12 for both. All right, early bird pricing on this is $597 for 8 weeks. That's a fucking throwaway right now. To work with me, usually it's $5,000, but I want to get some more movement going. I looked at my vision which is to affect the way 1 million people are living. And it's not just going to happen one-on-one. All of my next year is about building tribes and getting groups of people together. If you have questions, you can email me at traver@traverbohm.com, or most of you know where to find me. Even if you're in Russia, you can text me on Instagram. Or find me however you need. Again, I want them both full. If you have people in your life that you know that will benefit from a group like this, from 2 separate groups that are fully supported, where you guys actually have the support to do the things you talked about, having a tribe, Arthur. This is 12 guys who are doing the exact same shit you do. We will have separate Facebook pages so that people have group accountability that are private. And I'm going to throw a couple things in there along the way. I've got some people lined up to do special talks that are specific in a couple different areas. I'm trying to get Jamie Thompson I know I can get Jamie Thompson in there for those of you that know her. She's the holistic sex coach. So yeah, we're going to throw some shit in there because why the fuck not, right? All right. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving a shit and for being a force in the world, for actually looking at the world and saying, I don't want to be civilized. I don't want to live how they live. I want to be part of something bigger than me. I want to be different, and I'm okay being different, because the more of us that are out here living from that place of being alive, the more permission it gives for all of us to be healthy, happier, and more actualized humans. So thank you. Mwah. Bye, guys. Bye, Kim. Good to see you. Bye, Melina. And Joe and Dave, if you'd stay on. Cheers, Arthur. Bye, Michelle. I'm going to just end the recording.